Monster Hunter Sanctuary version 1.1, so the very big update, it's almost like a version 2 for me, has actually been published on consoles. So it's been released on Steam earlier because Steam is a lot easier to publish, but now it's been published on all the consoles, including Switch. So I've actually updated mine and instantly changed the difficulty. So one of the big things that changes in this game is they offer new difficulty settings, so casual and master. And it's quite interesting, like reading from the developer, they did not want to do this. And it just seemed like an overwhelming amount of feedback from everyone saying the game's too hard. So they did introduce, and I love it as a reaction. It's like, the game's too hard. Okay, I'll change the difficulty, but we'll introduce even harder difficulty, like the master version as well. And the casual one, what I loved about it as well, it even says this when you select it, it goes, it's slightly less difficult. So they're very clear. It's like, it's not easy, but monsters don't do as much damage, and they get more damage when you hit them. So that's really big for me. The other one that's
generally what difficulty settings do.
No, but like casual for a lot of games is like, it's a walk in the park. It's no challenge.
I know. I'm just saying, yeah.
You're being a dickhead.
I'm being snide.
You're being a dickhead. Because I played a little bit of the game in casual, and it's not easy. It's like, I wouldn't call it easy mode. I definitely wouldn't call it casual mode.
So I've also played a little bit. So I was up to like a boss encounter, if you could call it that, and beat it on my second try this time. And the problem for me...
So you did lose the first time?
Yeah, but the problem for me is the fact that this is Monster Sanctuary. I love the game. We've reviewed it before. Yeah. I think it's fantastic. And with this update, it's made a great game with flaws. Much better. And
much better. Yeah.
But the problem is, if you're away from this game for ages, honestly, it's taken me a little while to get back into the flow and learning what my because each monster has like different skill trees and moves, and using them in combination is a huge thing in this game. And so I'm like, oh wait, what monster was I using this time and stuff like that. So I've actually struggled a little bit to get back into it because it's kind of I think it's a game if you take a break from. It's a bit tricky to get back into, but hopefully I'll get over it.
And it's a funny thing, Swinny, because this game respects the classes and the types of monsters that you have.
Yeah.
And a lot of games, you just become so powerful, it doesn't even matter. You don't even need to like fight against the weaknesses and your strengths and things like that. It's just, you just overpower all your opposition. But this game, you genuinely need to look at, okay, they're weak to this, and I better switch out my monsters to be able to actually beat them. And the other ones, just to rattle off quickly, New Game Plus, pretty much as you'd expect with New Game Plus, PvP. So there was a lot of issues with PvP when it launched. And, they've fixed, it seems like, most of those problems, hearing about what people on Steam were talking about, which is good. I don't really play PvP. I don't really see the attraction at all in there, but each to their own. And it's quite cool. Like, they're going to keep on updating the game. So, heaps of quality of life improvements, like a minimap with custom markers, which is huge for me. Skipping cutscenes. In the future. Yeah, future updates. Yeah. And then sprite customization, which would be really cool for your character sprites. So, yeah, look, like, they're going to put more love in this game. I actually, to me, hope that they make a version 2 of this game, personally, and try to get, like, a really big push. Because I feel like this is the exact kind of game that, with a bit more polish, they could actually make this a pretty big game, in my view.
Well, when we talked about it last time, I think all it is going to take is for some streamers to pick this up.
Yeah.
I
actually listened to Nintendo Voice Chat, so the IGN Nintendo podcast, and they've actually spoken about it in the last few weeks. So I thought that was really cool because they have a huge audience, about the same size as our audience. So
no, we're bigger.
Yeah, exactly. We are big, weak in gaming. So I was like going, oh, okay, this is cool. I just feel like the game, just needs to catch on with a few more people, because jumping back into it, I'm like, the animation is just so good in this game. It's just really hard. It just doesn't come across the same in video as it does when you're playing it live.
And now you can finally increase the battle speed.
Yeah, I know. I did that. That was the first thing I did as well. ×2. I almost cried when you told me you could do that. I feel like I've wasted hours because of that. So yeah, Swinny and I are big fans of this game. You should jump on it, Mike. It's on Xbox, and they've got the update now, so muck around with it a little bit. All right, well, let's go back in the past, boys. Let's go back to when we were alive and knew about these companies.
Ba-da-bum,